think we already have one member unaccounted for, but we have a quorum, so we'll keep going. And I know that at least one member may have to leave at 8:30, so our agenda isn't that full, so hopefully we'll get through that. Welcome to the Legislative Committee on Administrative Rules, February 29, 24. Before we get going here, I'd like to do introductions, starting to my left.
Dr. Savage, Legislative Council.
Seth Bongartz, I represent Bennington 4 in the House.
Morning, Senator Dave Weeks, representing Rutland County.
And Representative Mark Higley, representing the Orleans-Lamoille District.
Senator Mark McDonald, representing almost all of Orange County.
Representative Trevor Squirrel, representative Hill and Jericho, and over here. Okay. First order of business are the minutes from February 22, 24. You have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Representative Higley moves, so we approve the minutes of February 22. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, the first rule up today is Rule 2331, Department of Labor, Vermont Passenger Tramway Rules. And I believe we have, is it Dirk Anderson?
Yes, good morning.
Take a seat. We don't need to sit up there. You can sit closer to us if you want.
Fine, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm Dirk Anderson. I'm Director of Workers' Compensation and Safety with the Vermont Department of Labor. That includes oversight of the Passenger Tramway Safety Program. And with me is our Chief Lift Inspector, Mike Nellis, and you probably know Molly from Ski Areas Association. Primary purpose of this rule is to adopt the National ANSI Standard B77.1, which is updated every 5 years. This is a standard by which ski lifts are built, maintained, and operated. It's a national standard. The department missed the last update cycle, which was 2017. So what we are doing now is adopting the most recent national standard, which is 2022 standard. That's the primary purpose of the rule. There's also a Vermont addendum, which is the bulk of the actual rule before you. The standard is incorporated by reference. And the Vermont addendum just contains some Vermont-specific language. This language was vetted by the Passenger Tramway Board. They have reviewed it, approved it as it was submitted to you. Since it was submitted to this committee, Ledge Council picked up on a couple of small errors, 4 of them, which are detailed in an email from Damian Leonard, which I submitted to the committee Tuesday. Should have done it Monday. Sorry, Charlene. That's pretty much it. I mean, we're just trying to stay current with the evolving technology and safety standards as they're spelled out in the national standard, which is in use pretty much everywhere around the country. So it's fairly straightforward. I'd be happy to answer any questions the committee may have.
Yeah, in your documentation, you said there were substantial arguments and considerations raised for or against the original proposal. All I'm seeing is one particular individual. Maybe they were representing other folks that had a whole set of issues.
That particular individual is a member of the Passenger Tramway Board. He went through the rules line by line and made several constructive comments, most of which were agreed to by the full board. There was some discussion about a couple of them, but we had a public hearing. We kept the public comment period open longer through the end of December. And we just did not get any other public comment other than from that one individual.
Committee members? Senator McDonald?
Did the, were the comments that were made, is that why the technical corrections were made, or are they
No,
separate and distinct?
well, the technical corrections, some of the comments we received were in the nature of technical corrections, and those were all made. And then on final review, Ledge Counsel, who just walked in, morning, Damien, picked up on 4 additional errors, one of which was actually pretty significant regarding the blasting rules. And that was just an error, a drafting error on our part, where we had a less than that should have been a greater than.
Small details, yeah.
That's a pretty big detail. So we incorporated that change, or those changes from Damien.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the rules with the 4 technical corrections that have been brought to our attention.
Motion to approve Rule 23P31. Any additional discussion? All those in favor, please. Aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have, thank you, David.
Join your.
Yeah, I have to make a comment that Ledge Counsel is actually wonderful in finding these minor details in these rules. So we really appreciate their support and help. Okay, next up is Rule 23P18, Department of Public Safety, Vermont Fire Service Training Council. And we have, it's Michael
Yes,
and someone joining you on Zoom also?
yes. John Marcus is the chair of the Vermont Fire Service Training Council.
Okay, floor is yours.
Chair Marcus, something to start us with?
Good morning and thank you. And Chief Scazza, you may present the rule.
Congratulations.
So I'm Michael Scazza. I'm the Director and Chief of Training of the Vermont Fire Academy. The rule proposals before you were largely housekeeping issues. The most substantial change was a change to our reciprocity rules to ease the acceptance of out-of-state earned firefighter certifications to allow those folks to more easily gain Vermont firefighter certifications. This was a rule change that was asked for by the fire service to help onboard and bring in and fill firefighter positions in the state. The council took on over a year's worth of stakeholder input in all of the rules because they said if we're going to make some changes, we'll look at them comprehensively. So there was a huge amount of stakeholder involvement. On the front end, the rules were then drafted. The council accepted the rules unanimously as drafted because they had put so much work into them. We had a public comment period. We had a public hearing. No one attended the public hearing. We received one public comment, which was a comment of support submitted by the professional firefighters of Vermont. So we feel that we're in a good spot with these.
I have a question. Talked about easing the requirements for reciprocity.
Yes.
Maybe you could speak to what those changes were.
So under the current rules, if a firefighter brings their certification to Vermont from another state, if it's greater than 3 years old, the rules require them to test into the Vermont certification system. The proposed rule mirrors the Vermont recertification system. So if you earn a certification in Vermont and you maintain that certification in Vermont by receiving the prescribed number of continuing training hours each year, you stay in good standing, you stay current. So the rule change takes that recertification criteria and applies that to people entering our system with certifications earned in other states. So for example, if I went to college in Maine and earned my certifications there, and then I worked for a fire department out of state for a few years, and I received the continuing education that Vermont requires for our firefighters out of state, we would recognize that and then approve their Vermont certifications through reciprocity.
Okay.
So it takes away the testing component for for them to come from out of state when they've been keeping up on this.
Any other questions? Ready?
No, makes total sense.
Sorry?
Makes total sense.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
In motion, I move that we approve 23P18 Fire, Vermont Fire Safe Service Training Council with clarification that these rules shall become effective 15 days after adoption, March 15th, 2024.
Okay. Representative Higley has a motion to approve Rule 23P18. Any additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last thing on our agenda is a letter that Michael O'Grady put together based on our conversation last week, letters to committees of jurisdiction on wake boats. There was some change in language that this committee wanted to have changed. Given that there's only 5 of the 8 of us here today, I'm curious as to how committee feels about postponing approval or discussion around this until we have all 8 people around the table, or at least most of the people around the table here. I don't know if it makes any difference at this point.
Doesn't matter to me.
That's what we'll do. We'll postpone this action to next meeting.
Thank you.
I don't think any committees of jurisdiction are taking this up on their agenda right away.
I'm not going to touch this.
All right. With that, next week is town meeting week. The week after that, we do not have anything on the calendar, which will be, is that the 14th, whatever it is?
Nothing until the 21st.
So we're not up until the 21st. Right now, we have 3 rules and we'll do this letter on the 21st.
Okay, good.
All right, thank you. Meeting's soon. It's okay with me. We all have things to do. Eddie?
Fair Lines isn't here now.
What you picking up?
Have a good day.